Here we go again. I've got a smile on today. I don't know why. I do know why. Because I've got company. I don't usually smile like this. I just got this sort of neck grin that's just sort of come across my face. But anyway. Right. The grin hopefully will just drop off as I get, as I pick up what I'm doing. Today, I'm doing pretty similar to what I did the other week. I don't know why, and I've actually forgot I did the same stuff, but as I said to myself, a lot of people were lucky to get a day's meal, let alone, it's the same as last week. It's a variation on the theme that I did last week, which was the fishy lockdown. So this is fishy, and it's bacalhau, which is again cod, dried cod, which I actually, I haven't, I need to like to soak this a little bit to get rid of the salt. So after this, in there, just to wash it out. There, you don't want that salty. So, why is there a tomato up there? I didn't put it up there. Tomato movers. Right, yeah, so it's a variation on the theme we did last week. I had a few people talk to me and they said they liked it as well. Rice, it's a rice dish. And this is the sort of thing that would last sort of 2 days. You hear that noise? It's the fridge. I actually turned the fridge on. Again, this is not that planned. I knew I've got to do one. I'm trying to keep on top of this thing. I'm trying to make this thing a bit more fluid, a bit more moving. Wasn't particularly happy with the one I did last week. I was a bit down in the dumps, I think, really. I think the lockdown got to me, I think. I don't know why. I don't know. I just didn't have that sort of flow, that ambience that I usually have, which I think I have. I don't know if I have. But, so soak that a little bit. Actually, just do that a few times. Get rid of the water. And do it again. You're supposed to soak this for hours beforehand, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Actually, I'll tell you what, do a bit more in there, really. Let's have a little look. I was going to put a shirt on to do this, but no, I'll tell you, put a lot in. There you go. Put a lot in. That's 400 grams. 400 grams of dead fish. So, anyway, right, yeah. So yeah, I didn't really like the last one that much, I thought, but I still had to get it out because I want to keep this thing going. And I'm going to edit it better than the last one. I'm getting to the editing software. Like I said last time, the crappy little edits I did, I know, they were shit. Oh, meet the dog. Hello, dog. Go on, get out of it. No, not there, mate. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have a little bit of refreshment. Where's the corkscrew then? Upstairs, I bet. I bet it's upstairs. I'll be back. Yeah, I was going to put a shirt on, but as it's so hot, and I said, no, leave the shirt off. Well, you never know. You might pull a few customers in. They might like to see my sort of, my six-pack hanging out there, poking out, or whatever it is. Not the pants, just a six-pack. My rippling muscles, I don't want to write anyone out the equation. Get in there, you bastard. Yeah. Oh. Don't let the chopper fall on your foot. You could have a problem. Bloody cork's moving around. should have done this beforehand, but there you go. Anyway, let's just get a little bit grounded. Let's get a little bit grounded before we start. Right, let's get the priorities. Priorities. Good elf. Good elf. Right, okay, so there's a few more people going to be eating this. 2 of us, and anyone else who might turn up. So there you go. Right, first of all, onions. So get the onions in. Let's have a little sip first. Have a little sip. Let's have a little sip first. Here we go. Right. Just clean the cooker. I didn't have to say that really, did I? No. Place is looking quite clean really. Unexpectedly, I've got company, you see. I suppose maybe I was just, I don't know, in a funny old mood. Maybe it's the company, maybe it's just bringing myself out a little bit. I'll just check this is on. It could be. Yeah, 7 minutes, 49 seconds already. So anyway, right, what is going to be, mushrooms I didn't have in the last one. Don't think I had potatoes in it, I might have done actually. Red pepper, same as the last one. Aubergine, same as the last one. Maybe the tomato puree, and I've got 2 large tomatoes to go in, so already washed. Right, onions. Onions in. You don't need to see me chopping onions because you've seen it before. Yes, okay, where was I? Yeah, last week I was sort of rattling on. You know, I think a lot of it's to do with this virus thing, but you know, the animation seems to have went a little bit. And I've got to do, I think what it is, I think the truth is, I've realised that I've got to make this thing work. Not got to, but it's you know what, this virus thing, you know, I tend to usually work in outside entertainments in Britain and here. Festivals, you know, I would be doing the Boom Festival this year, that's off. I would have been at Glastonbury, that's off. I would be doing other events through Britain, they're all off. And so, I'm saying to myself, and a lot of work around here, am I giving you a sob story? Nah, it's not, it's the truth. This is authentic, so it's the truth. And I think this is all getting to me, really. And so I am trying to sort of think, right, okay, what can I do? What can I do? How can I earn money nowadays? Not that I actually need to earn that much, I'm quite cheap to run. But, so I put adverts out this week, like computer work, I used to fix computers and things like that, and building work, and all these adverts, painting, decorating out there. Just to, I don't know, keep the irons in the fire, I suppose. Oh, I'll tell you what I didn't do. I was going to, that doesn't matter, because I'm going to cut this, I could do that another time. But on this video, I'm going to show you some t-shirts. Some t-shirts, a few candles. If you want to support the site, you can buy some of this stuff. All the prices and all that are on the Dr. Hornfix site, which you may or may not have been to. Dr. Hornfix, one word, Dr. Hornfix. And I'm trying to get everything run through the site now. Everything wants to run through that. Keep all the prices down. Rather have them separate sites for Flick Beanie, for the shirts, and Dr. Hornfix does everything now. And you never know how YouTube is nowadays. I've got to keep one site going in case they kick me off the YouTube. So I doubt they will. Because I don't say much about virus, or what is it? You know what that is? Do I? I don't know. Anyway, people I see don't even say the word. You're not even allowed to say it anymore because you get kicked off because they think you're spreading disinformation and all this sort of thing. But I'm not. I try and keep my personal prejudices to myself. Not that I've got many anyway. So I haven't got any particular phobias about anyone in particular. Well, obviously apart from the narcissist, that goes without saying, you know. And that's not really a phobia, that's just the accumulation of experience. It's not a phobia at all. In fact, I think as well, one of the reasons I was feeling slightly disenchanted, I suppose is the word, slightly disenchanted last week, in with a bit of fat in the bottom of that. This is dirty old oil, hydrogen oil, whatever you call it. Dirty old oil, get it in there, mate. Hydrogenated, yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully this gas should last, if not, we're going to continue this outside. Oh shit, hang on. But the gas should last. Well, I thought it was going off a few days ago, but it seems to have... Ah, that's fine. It seems to have lasted. Right, in with the onions, get the onions in. Just get a bit of water on some stock. I'm going to make. What was I saying? Disenchantment. A friend of mine said, I respect his judgment, but I don't respect his judgment. I like his opinion. I like all opinions. He said he started the video off and he skipped forward 20 minutes. It was a 50-minute video. He skipped forward 20 minutes. When he put it on, the first thing I said was narcissist, and it made me laugh. That is. So I mean, the idea of doing the £1 man is to move on. Me personally, to move on from the experience of living with a narcissist. That was the idea of this £1 man originally, and it was also to move into a cooking program for single guys. If you want financially challenged single guys, obviously, because you'll know if you did live with a proper N-word. Let's call it the N-word. That might get me a few dislikes. I'll start using the N-word. You're obviously going to be, you will, chances are, be financially challenged as a result of living with the N-word, and especially if you find yourself on your own, which you hopefully will. What was I saying now? So yeah, I'm trying to move on a little bit more, sort of positively. I wanted to actually do what I went out to do initially, which was to do a nutritious, affordable, quick food, basically for single men that haven't got things not out the fridge, not out the freezer, not a pizza out the freezer into the microwave, nothing like that. Basically using vegetables that that are available, and to look after yourself as well. I mean, tell you the truth, I can take vitamin pills occasionally. If I feel I haven't eaten that nutritiously for a while, I take vitamin pills. Because the idea of moving on is, once you've been in a toxic environment for a long time, you will find you've picked up a lot of toxic shit. And the idea of looking after yourself is to move on mentally and physically, and you can't do one without the other. So this is just the stuff I've learned over the years. And I know I've said it before, but maybe people don't always get it, and I have to repeat myself. So that's what I'm doing right now, telling you really what the site's about. What the fuck is that? You see that? Oh no, it's my hair. Sorry, I thought the fly went in the eye. So yeah. Let's put that on there. So, as well. See, you can clean the cooker, see? Oh, it's all bloody knackered. Hang on. So yeah, so the idea is to move on in a linear fashion, I suppose. And you will generally find that you are on your own in this process. You will find you are on your own. This is the truth. Most of your, especially if you've moved away, most of your mutual friends that you had. Well, actually, I'm living in a different area now, but a lot of mutual friends, you won't get a lot of help from them. Well, there's not a lot of help they can do, really. You know what I mean? I think I was, well, I suppose still am, but I was, especially with this coronavirus. I'm just explaining my situation here. I don't know why I am, but to myself maybe. I was sort of hoping, and I still am in a way, that But as I'm continually reminded by mutual friends, I'm not going to get a penny back from my ex, even though I'm owed a lot of money that would sort me right out. But they're not even going to try. Nobody's going to sort of put any pressure on because nobody wants to. Nobody wants to. Whatever. What's the word? I don't really know what the word is really. Appease. Actually, what people do is appease. They usually appease the oppressor, don't they? That's what they do. They appease the oppressor, and they're sort of like. And there is fear, isn't there? The fear. People are frightened to offend, so they might sort of say, "Oh, actually, I've known this guy sort of like 30 years, and actually you owe him fuck of a lot of money, and you're not even talking about it. So maybe you should sort. But you're not going to get none of that. It ain't going to happen. Yeah. So you might as well just sort of like forget it, which is, I suppose. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. And you'll find that mutual friends, they're not really interested in the moral. They're not really interested in morals either, because I think I was over interested in morals as well. I think I was over interested in the fact that because I believe or thought that I was morally right, and I sort of was under the impression that other human beings had the same morals as me. They obviously haven't, and that's the sort of thing I'm learning through this experience. Other people do not hold the morals I do, and to expect them to is probably a little bit deluded on my behalf. I'm coming to that sort of thing, that understanding, and so to expect other people to even sort of say anything on my behalf, I would. Yeah, but then I wouldn't expect other people to now. Maybe I did. Maybe I get a little bit peeved with other people's reactions. But I think other people got their own lives to lead as well. And I've got to face the inevitability of the fact that for the last long period of my life where I had shared investments, but I am not going to get a penny of that back. And the other party they're not gonna have any guilt. They're not gonna have any whatever. They're not even gonna try. And I've got to get used to that. That is what I've got to get used to in this Corona environment. So I was hoping that I would like to let it go, but the Corona environment and the lack of the ability to earn money in this environment is just I think it what's the word? Energised me in a way to thinking, and I think it depressed me in a bit, really, thinking, fucking hell. Oh, didn't mean to swear. Fucking hell, there you go. Onions are cooked. Right, next in the spuds. Will I sharp peel these? Yes, with my new peeler. Look at that, see, they jumped out of my skin then. I'll tell you why. Well, I didn't actually think that, but when I saw that move, I thought it might have been a mouse. Not that I actually jump when I see mice, but there's a few around here. So let's peel this off. So yes, I really am just explaining what the my thought process is for. The last video. This is what I usually do: is go over the last video in my mind and tell you what I thought about it. And why and how and all this sort of thing, and that's what I'm doing now. But yeah, so hopefully with this new sort of like understanding of the sort of like the inevitability of skinhead, I'm going to then put new energy. It's going to come towards me doing this, some new ideas, some new energy, and I'm going to make it work. That is the idea. That's the intention. We'll see, won't we? We'll see if I can earn some money with this thing. Don't need a lot, that's the truth. So, and then say I am going to show some products that I do produce myself at the end of this video, and hopefully that's going to keep the wolves from the door. To be honest, I'm not usually that preoccupied with money that much, but because usually it comes in and I've got things going on and right, that's boiling, right, and and I haven't now. So, you know, slices, thin slices, not too thin, not quite a centimetre, about half a centimetre. You don't really want it all to turn to mush. So the idea is to be thick enough, thin enough to cook, thick enough to stay together. Right, turn that back one off. Lay these in. I'm going to turn that right down now. Lay these in, like that. Lay them in. I think one of the things that I've got to impress is actually, I thought this today actually, because the idea is to help people. You know, if I'd seen these videos 2 years into my relationship, I wouldn't be in this position. Yeah, that's the God's honest truth, because I knew that there was things wrong. You know, I knew there was things wrong in the relationship that was sort of like I never really, I didn't have the emotional something or other, the emotional experience, I suppose, to notice where there was sort of where the thing, and I think the thing what you got to remember is that when you see with people, if people insist on behaviour that they don't display themselves to a point that it's crazy, that is the first warning sign of a toxic person. When they insist on this behaviour, they do not display themselves. Then you know you're onto a bad one there, like, you know, you're onto a weird thing. So, you know, if I'd known that right at the beginning, I would have known that the relationship was going to lead nowhere, and eventually you would be out of pocket, and not just out of pocket, but you know, completely ripped. Yeah, if just out of pocket would have been fine actually, but completely ripped of any shared investments. But also with no moral, not ability. Nothing's going to push it. No one's gonna, you know, these people they have no morals as such. They just think with these blinkers on from one day to the next. So they don't think, oh, yes, we did spend, yes, I did use all that money, didn't I? Yes, I did. We did do this, didn't we, together? And I do, yes, maybe I should. No, it doesn't come into it. I think I've done this. I've still got to convince myself of this. You see, because I still did believe that somehow there would be an approach where, see, I couldn't really, but see, I come from divorced parents, yeah, and they split after probably the same, you know, I think, well, it's probably 15 years, same sort of thing as me. There you go, like father, like son. There you go, the sins of the father and all that business. Right, the aubergine's gone in, some of it. Now this has gone in. Yep, the sins of the father is visited on the son, although it shouldn't be. The point I'm making is, my father wouldn't morally have left my mother high and dry. And if my mother, I don't know, I'll have to ask her this actually. If my mother owed him a lot of money that she, you know, that they'd done all these investments together, would she have just said, fuck him, let him go? You know, I don't know. I don't know whether the morals, it's a new thing, and this is what a lot of things I've been toying with as well. I've been toying with this idea that this thing that I'm been in and experienced is just like a microcosm of the macrocosm out there in the world. When you see what's that noise there? Yeah. When you see politicians blatantly lying, blatantly saying things that are blatantly untrue, and people going along with it, and I think, well, hang on, what I'm actually experiencing is just what's going on out in the world. So it doesn't make it right or anything like that. It just makes it sort of, wow, you know, it makes me even more want to carry on and do these videos and maybe talk like this. You know, it's not right. You know, it's not right. But it's laughable. I'm laughing now. It's laughable when you know, people's methods of behaviour and how they behave is so shite, but half the population think it's all right. At least they won't say anything about it. They won't. They think it's okay. They'll go along. What can I do? What can I say? You know, they go along with it. They go along with lies and untruths because it's just easier. I think because as a society we're sort of we've been not bred, encouraged, conditioned. We've been conditioned to accept this bullshit. And that's what happens when you live with a if you want a disagreeable person, for instance. You know, the manipulation is 24/7. So you know, and it's the same with Babylon, isn't it? The Babylon out there, they're manipulating all day with the television, the papers, you know, and you don't know you're asking your elbow half the time. You don't know truth from lies. You haven't got a clue. There's a bit of fish in there. You haven't got a clue. You haven't got. Remember, no salt in here because this is probably still quite salty. And yeah, the last one I did with the blackberry, wasn't it? Of course it was, and it was bloody delicious. It was really nice. So fish in there. That was nice. Yeah, so yeah, you know, people have got their own reasons why they suck up to other people's bullshit, and maybe it's just easier. I believe it probably is. It's just easier to go along the bullshit than to fight it. So what can I say? I mean, you know, I'm just a bloody human, same as anyone else. Well, that's not strictly true, is it? Actually, that's not strictly true. But yeah, the point is as well. There's no morals. There's no morals in this world. That's the thing. That we live in this sort of like this time of moral decay, moral bankruptcy, where people don't care as long as they don't care if they as long as their thing's okay. They don't actually care about what happens to even their country. Even their country. You see, sort of. I mean, I am being a little bit political here, but I mean, you know, a lot of Western countries took all their manufacturing out to another country because they were separate companies. And as long as they made their millions, making their money, they didn't care that the manufacturing wasn't in their country. And when their country goes down the pan, and you know, there's a lot more people homeless. And all that. As long as they made their money on their property, as long as their company made the money and they got the price for what they wanted, they don't care what happens to everybody else. Now. Whew, I don't know. It's like moral decay. I've always said that when all this what do they call it, this quantitative easing, and they're still going on now. Came in years ago when the 208. That's 12 years ago now. I predicted then what's going to happen is the selfish, self-centered. Do it. It's one for you, Dave. Narcissistic, yeah. The self-centered, narcissistic fund managers, yeah. Their accountants or who'll be controlling the purse strings, they're going to say, "Look, mate, take the money and run, yeah. Take the money and run." And okay, there are a few more suicides for sure, but it's not like the 1920s where you had these finance houses and. You know, you maybe knew the families whose money you'd taken, who you'd invested, and it's all gone down the pan. And there was always the joke where the guy on the top floor, and he's gone past the window. Oh, there's another one jumped off. You know, it was like a joke. You know. Well, it ain't acting like that anymore. No. They're just saying, well, you take the money and run. Stick your money in the Cayman Islands. You know, there's a bit of rice in here now. 1 handful, 2 handfuls, 3 handfuls, a little bit more, it's a big pot, 4 handfuls. Yeah, just as long as your money's in the Cayman Islands, as long as you can get away with it, that's the thing, as long as you can get away with it, it's okay, yeah? There's no morals, there's no, and this is what's been concerning me about this whole thing really. You know, I did expect there would be some sort of morals from somebody, you know, that would maybe hopefully direct things in my direction. But no, now, you know, obviously I was wrong. Silly me. You know, silly me. Silly old Dagwood. He believed in the human spirit. Silly old Dagwood. You know. Yes. So anyway, yeah, that's one of the reasons I carry this on. That's one of the reasons I do think it's quite important. But I actually do not want to be blabbing on about some shithead that's been in my life years ago. I do not want to be doing that. I'd rather just carry on doing the cooking, carry on doing the... See, I'm layering all this, look, in subtle layers. Not that subtle actually, because the rice is all sat there. There you go. Right, put the rice down. In with the tomato. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm carrying it on. It's sort of pseudo-political, isn't it? Really, I suppose I'm mixing up politics with personal stuff, and you know. But I imagine people that know me don't even listen to this, you know. Especially people that don't know me that listen to it. People that know me have probably got their own agenda. So yeah, in with the tomatoes. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of stock in there. Hang on, where's my cube gone? Ah, there it is. There's my cube. Mix of stock. This, I don't even know what stock this is actually. I think it might be vegetable stock. I'm not really bothered if it is or it isn't actually. Might be chicken. Don't know. For fuck's sake. Sorry. Okay, never mind. Moving on. Yeah, that's probably that's, you know, I mean, this is only my sort of like my 8th one or something. So, you know, I've just got into the software, the editing, and all that, and yeah, and in that time, life's changed for me. You know, it's changed for everybody. You know, and I did one on forgiveness the other, like, I don't know, in the beginning of the virus thing, or it was near the beginning. I think we was on lockdown then. Yeah, I did do one on forgiveness, and I meant it. You know, I don't really want to go. It's not my bag to go bearing grudges, holding grudges. You know, one thing you've got to learn in this process, what you need to learn in this process, is you cannot change other people. You can only change yourself. Other people you cannot change. So, unless you've got forgiveness in your paradigm, you're going to be really well knackered carrying that shit around with you. So, forgiveness is part of the program. Right. Cool. There you go, look. Lid on. I'm going to put a few shroomies in the top because I got them and they're nice and fresh, so why not? And then I'm going to leave that. I may or may not turn this video off. I may just... I think I will turn it off actually, because I think I've said enough actually. I don't think I'll stop talking, to be honest, all the time through this. There you go. I will but the idea is the one pan again. You see, the one pan is on the one ring. It's on down very low. The rice will take about 20 minutes to cook. But it'll take a while to get to temperature. So, yeah, I haven't actually stopped talking, have I? There you go. Oh, did that camera go on? Let's have a little look. No. Oh, here we go. Something's happening. Yes. So, I mean, for all the people out there, well, how many there is, not that many actually, like this should last you a couple of days, this sort of meal. Well, if you're on your own, it should last you working man, that will last you 3 days, something like that. But in the evening, you know. It's the only good thing about microwaves. Something like this is cooked, you can stick it in the fridge, pull it out, stick it in the microwave. Here we go. Of your uncle, a little picture. Oh, diddly-doo, that means the battery's knackered. Yep, power off, shutting down. Never mind. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring this camera over here. On. Right, okay, here we go. So, here we go. That's the thing, all layered, mushrooms on the top. There's, yep, it's still on, the gas is still running. And I'm going to put the lid on that now. So, see you in a bit. Okay, bye. Yeah, it's recording that, just hold it while I... So look, when you shake this stuff with the rice in it, it's quite important not to keep stirring it because you break all the food up. So what I tend to do is do this. So side to side motion to make sure it's sort of separated up. Check the fluid level. Plenty. Okay, still down. That's it. Okay. I've got a few of me wares here. It's all a bit light, so here's a few t-shirts. Look, get off. Here's a few t-shirts. All me sort of tie dyes. These are all available. I think 20 sheets a piece on the Dr. Hornfix. I still do the flick beanie, although the flick beanie is under Dr. Hornfix now. And I do all this sort of stuff as well. Look, candles. You can buy all those. Go to the Dr. Hornfix site, and you can buy these. I might put a price list on the One Pound Man site. And I'm showing you these ones because I've sold copies of these. These are ones I do. Obviously, they're all a bit different. The background's different and all that, but I tend to do them pretty much the same. In fact, I'll probably have to do new stencils because I think they fell apart. And apparently, I've just been told by a reliable source that these are all pedos. These good dudes, apart from him. Apart from Tony, but apparently they're pedos. I don't know. I don't believe it myself. But there you go. I just thought I'd let you know, just in case you were one of them pedo hunters. Okay. Oh, apparently he's not. I'm getting a silent one. He's not. But apparently, I don't know. I didn't think they were. But anyway, here you go. And there you go. There's the shirts. They got the famous FB logo on the back. All collector's pieces now. That's a beauty. That one. I like that one. And they're all 20 sheets a piece, plus postage, I think, with the, or was it free post? I can't remember, to be honest. But you know, I do have goods if you want to support my site. And I don't know if you've noticed, but it's getting better and better. I believe it is, but maybe it's not. As you can see, the therapy's working. And there's a dog. There you go. Right, okay, that's it. That's me goods. Oh, by the way, yeah, there you go. Dhali Lama, Gandhi, Tony Benn, if you're that interested. And I've sold these before, this lot, so... Sorry?
The site where they can find your goods.
Okay, www. I don't have to do the W's, do I? I think that's silly. But anyone knows that anyway. drhornfix.com. Yeah, go to the shop. You can pay through PayPal and all that. Drop me an email. Drop me a comment if you can't comment, if you can't get through, whatever. And I actually have got a link to my personal email site there somewhere. So you know, and if you can't, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Okay, there you go. And I hope you enjoyed the meal I did yesterday. I did. I thought it was fantastic. Okay, bye bye. Okay, there you go, there's the dish. Served a little bit of piri-piri. Delicious. Well, I showed you anyway. There you go, I'm tucking in.